So I'm joined by Marcos now. We've got the Audioscenic technology in front of us, and it's with a Razer product. So what am I looking at here?
This is the Razer Leviathan V2 Pro soundbar. This is the first wall soundbar with AI head tracking beamforming.
Okay. So it's an upgrade from the normal V2 that Razer put out. And it got your technology into it. So what exactly is it doing here?
So basically, Razer had a V2 soundbar that was like a gaming soundbar, and they wanted like a step up, like a high quality product. And Razer was looking into this beamforming technology. And what the beamforming technology does is that it creates virtual headphones. Right. And with these virtual headphones, you can have spatial sound without wearing headphones. Okay.
That sounds incredible. I mean, so the idea is you get the kind of headset style audio quality here, but without the headset. So how exactly does that work? Because are you bending audio waves?
Yeah, it's something like that. So basically, here there are 5 speakers, okay? So these 5 speakers are working in phase to produce a constructive interference in one ear and a destructive interference in the other ear, okay? And so if you imagine that, we have a large difference in acoustic pressure, so it's more or less like having one channel of the headphone. And then we can do the other way around. We have a constructive interference here and a destructive interference here. So we have the other channel of the headphones. And basically, once we combine it, we have virtual headphones. Okay?
So even though I'm sitting here and I've got a single speaker in front of me, I'll be hearing things to my left, to my right, kind of all around me.
Behind you, above you, all of that. Yeah.
Okay, amazing. You know? Cool. And we've also got a subwoofer here as well for the low end to give us a bit of bass as well.
Basically, yeah.
Okay, amazing. Well, I haven't tried this out yet, so it should be very exciting. You've got a demo for us, so should we get this set up?
Yeah.
Listen.
Okay, so we're jumping straight into the audio here.
Yeah.
Let me know if this is too loud. But already, I can see a robot on my left, and I can hear them on my left, which is it's a bit surreal.
Open the solar charging station.
Okay, so I'm just gonna follow the arrows. That's like gaming 101.
Go!
Okay, so right now, I can still hear the robot currently behind me. So how have you managed to pull that off?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm already getting quite horror vibes, and we're gonna get some jump scares.
No, there's nothing too scary.
He says as the door starts knocking.
As you can hear, this drone is above you, and behind you.
Oh, that's so weird. Okay. Yeah. I can literally feel it kind of circling around my head, which is a lot of fun. I've been really thinking horror games would be amazing for this, because you're walking down a dark corridor, and immediately you hear something behind you.
Basically.
Every time it's the door knocking. So talk to me about this bar, because not only is it sending this sound all around me, right? It's also kind of tracking my head movement. So what's happening there?
It's tracking your head movement, and the main reason why it's tracking your head movement is because we can create these virtual headphones in space, but the spatial area where we can create them is very, very small. You know, so it's like a few centimeters.
It's like a fine point that you're
So when you're fixed in front of the soundbar, you get the virtual headphones. But what happens if you move like just a few centimeters, like we do normally when we are playing games, when we are in front of screens? The 3D effect will decay. So we need to adapt the position of these virtual headphones with you. And this is what this camera that is here is doing. This camera is working at around 20-25 frames per second, and if it detects that you're moving, it's changing the position of these virtual headphones, above or below, behind, exactly where you are.
So even if I'm kind of changing my angle a little bit,
it's not. Head rotation is not needed for this, but if you move like that, because we are assuming that we are looking at the screen, it will be changing it. Okay, so that you always have the optimal sound experience. That's what it's trying to do.
Well, let's give it a little try. Nothing wrong with you. I'm just going to try and lean over here a little bit.
Yeah.
See how it works.
You can even lean more. So.
Oh my God, how far can I go?
You know, when the soundbar misses you, it will blink here. And you will see it blinking. You can try it if you want.
We're going to keep skirting until I might be going out of shot here.
So much better.
Okay, apparently I'm still getting it. So even though I'm all over here, it's still sending it.
Yeah, but you can go a bit more and you will see how it will basically start.
This is crazy now. And what's really strange is I can see the speaker in front of me, but I'm still getting all this sound.
I think a bit more you should trip it.
It's still good, okay.
Well, we haven't tripped it yet.
Still going. Okay, so is that the point where... Nice.
And then if you come back...
And that whole kind of movement as well, it's keeping track.
It's keeping track, and you see, like, you know, if if I basically cover the camera and you move to one side just a bit, the 3D is off.
Right, I see.
You see, but when I open it again and it sees your face, the moment it locks, the 3D should come back, okay?
Yeah.
So the head tracking, governing the beamforming, is essential to have this kind of experience, okay? And that's what basically our technology, what Audioscenic technology provides, okay?
I mean, if you're having a mean gaming session, you're playing something quite exciting, you're going to be moving about, you're going to be getting excited, right?
Basically.
So you don't want to be kind of lost in the immersion at any point.
Basically. And that's why a combination of the beamforming and the AI head tracking is so important, you know, and this is something that Razer saw working with us, and they put it on the product.
I love that you've got the drone at the end to really seal the deal.
Yeah. Basically, yes, very much.
Cool. Well, should we have a quick chat about music as well? Because obviously a lot of people are gonna, especially if it's Razer as well, are going to be having this as a gaming setup. But you know, if you have a great soundbar, you know, set up, you're going to use it for other things as well. So how does it handle kind of mastered music?
So basically, because this thing is, our technology is creating virtual headphones, okay? You can reproduce any set of spatial signal that you want, starting from stereo. From stereo to 7.1, to binaural, to Dolby Atmos, whatever you want, you know? So we just can get a stereo sound and it will be basically transported straight to your ears. And this soundbar has two different modes that we can control also through Razer signups, which is the virtual headset, that is basically putting straight to your ears, or the virtual surround, which is creating a basically set of virtual speakers all around you. Virtual speakers actually called, okay?
I see.
So that can be as a virtual 7.1 or a virtual stereo.
So just with a click of a button, you can kind of change between those modes. Quick question, because I know you mentioned you had 5 speakers in there before, but you've just mentioned 7.1 surround sound. So how exactly does that work?
So that's basically using 7 HRTFs to create a virtual surround setup. Once we have a virtual surround setup, we convert it to 2 channels, and then we deliver the 2 channels with the virtual headset. You know,
I mean, it's all incredible technology. I mean, look, my question now is, obviously this soundbar set up for one person. I mean, where do you see the technology? If I'm kind of sat on the sofa with a bunch of mates and we're watching a film, do you have like soundbars or envision them where they're targeting specific people? Or?
Yeah. So really, the Audioscenic technology comes from the idea and the desire to bring a spatial audio to people without them having to put loudspeakers all around them, okay? Because that's not practical and people cannot really do it in normal spaces, you know? Maybe you don't have the space, maybe you don't want to put cables all around you. And this is when we created this technology. This device is just for a single person. In the lab, we are basically working with prototypes that use more loudspeakers and that are larger to give this experience to 2 people, you know? Yeah, basically, we have some tests that are actually working, and we hope that in the future, in the years to come, we can work with partners like Razer or other brands to really introduce home cinema soundbars that give this experience to multiple people in the market. This is what we would like to do.
It sounds amazing. I mean, I'm certainly sold. If I had this on my desk, you'd struggle to get me away from it. Shall we try another game? It's in like okay, that's so weird. Immediately, as I get loads up, there's like a bird next to me.
Yeah.
That's a lot of fun. Okay. It's going to be a bad time to tell you that I've never played God of War.
Okay, well, we'll see. We can restart. Yeah, good. I think you can recover the THX.
Okay. I'm going to assume there's a way to get my axe back.
Yeah. Or the wine? Yeah.
Here we go.
Yeah, wine then. And you can be back.
This is going to be the strat now.
And you can get close to him and hit it as well. Yeah, good. Well done.
It's great because I can hear the arrows flying above me as well at the same time.
Yeah. You almost have it there.
This is way too immersive for me. So even though it's directional at me right now, how much of the experience are you getting? Because obviously you're next to me near the speaker.
So I hear it like a normal speaker, okay? Like a normal soundbar.
Okay, you know? So you're still getting a decent experience right next to me.
Still, you are getting a better experience than me because the camera is seeing you, you're the main user, and it's optimizing sound to your ears, okay? And basically what we have here is various modes, and we have a mode called room fill.
Right.
So if I press room fill, it will homogenize the experience for a round of people. So let's say I want in a multiplayer. I want to play a game that basically is 2-player or more. with my mates, or I mean, you know, I want to make a party and I want to use this like a boombox, I will put this mode, which is room fill. So it stops being spatial for you,
right?
But for me, the experience is better.
Oh, okay, great. So even if you have a bunch of mates sitting around, you can still, or someone's watching at least, you know, they're still going to get a good experience.
That's the idea. That's the idea, you know. And basically, we made that so make this soundbar like as you know, multi-use as possible. You know, for single user. But what happens if anybody wants like a different experience? We have all these modes, you know. And basically, you just press here.
Are you serious?
You see a room fill, or we go back to
I found the deer.
virtual headset.
Nice. Okay, so I get the full
I proved
experience.
myself.
Again, yeah, very much.
How am I not ready?
So we've jumped into Hellblade now, which is possibly the best game to test this on, because for anyone that plays it, there's lots of whispers, and already I can hear them all around me. So it is, you're very much getting that kind of experience that you'd get with headphones, you know, kind of hearing that audio all around you, but that very surreal feeling that, you know, you've got nothing on your head.
Basically, yeah. So I think one of the things we wanted to show is like the realism and the narration possibilities that you have, the narrative possibilities. You can get such a complex, such a, you know, important sound design that is possible thanks to the use of this technology.
Well, that's it. This game specifically, you know, it very much focuses on the audio. It says right at the beginning, play it with headphones, but you know, you would say you could set this up and you're going to get the full experience anyway, aren't you?
I think like, or even more impressive than headphones, because sometimes we listen with headphones and it's hard to externalize sounds, but because here we are not wearing them, the externalization is much greater, and that's something particular of this technology, of our technology.
Even just kind of like the ambient music just adds to it more than you would with normal speakers.
Very much, yes, very much. Yeah, but I played a lot this game when we were developing the technology, because it's one of the first games that had such a good sound design, you know, so I mean, games are every time improving the sound design. You play Resident Evil or God of War or many others and you have a very good spatial sound design, but this one was, yeah, one of the first ones that we were very impressed.
So obviously you've designed this product with Razer. How did that collaboration come about?
So I mean, that collaboration came about because Razer wanted like an innovative soundbar for their high-end model, you know, and they were looking for a company that was like key world leader in providing beamforming technologies, you know, and we got in touch through some partners. Basically, like came out and it was great, you know, because thanks to them, we could put the first product with our technology in the market. So we are basically tremendously proud and happy that basically we started working with Razer. And yeah, and it was very fun working with our engineers. So yeah, it was cool.
Sounds like a lot of fun. Obviously, Razer's known as one of the biggest brands in gaming. We spoke a lot about gaming, but when it comes to movies as well, you know, is this speaker still going to be set up so that you can fully enjoy kind of the cinema experience?
It is, and you know, I can put you a trailer of a movie if you want. Really, what we wanted to do is like this, of having a surround setup. We put it on the virtual surround mode, and I can show you if you want. So normally with the 7.1, we'll have to basically put 7 speakers all around us. But now what we're going to do is to have a virtual 7.1. You see, we are in the middle of this dogfight.
That's it, so you can hear it, you know. It's a shame you guys aren't hearing this. You can hear the airplane zooming past. So is this kind of technology kind of integrated in all games? Is there some games that works better with? How does that work?
So the thing is that all games are made to output for headphones.
Right.
So this is a substitute of headphones. So basically it's compatible with most of games. What happens with movies, for example, Netflix. Netflix comes with 5.1 almost from all the movies, or some others even have Dolby Atmos. So this technology can play any spatial sound format that exists and that will exist in the future. You know, so it's like a very polyvalent way of reproducing any spatial sound. You know, we can now, if you want, go and listen to some music that is stereo, and you will see that it's stereo, but basically we hear a very, very wide sound stage.
So a quick question. Let's say I'm a bit of an audio freak. I have a few friends that are super into their audio, their music. You know, they want to adjust things like EQs and settings. So, you know, does this just kind of come out of the box and there's one way to do it, or can you kind of customize things?
Yeah,
as well?
basically, you know, if we go to the Razer signups, so basically here you see we got Razer Leviathan V2 Pro, and we have a set of controls, and some of the controls we have is EQ and all that. You know,
Oh,
basically it's in gaming, flat, movie, music. You know, we have also this one that basically, you know, is like adaptive and all that.
Nice.
Yeah, and we work a lot with basically the Razer guys and also with THX Spatial Audio to implement all of that. Sometimes we basically even use in the office the soundbar for telco, you know, for calls. We want to put a bit more brightness for the calls. We do it with this, you know, so that's pretty handy, pretty useful. Yeah.
So obviously, we've got the Leviathan V2 Pro here, mainly set up for gaming, but where else are you kind of hoping to take the technology? Because as much as I'm a gamer, you know, we all have everyday lives where I imagine you're probably wanting to integrate this kind of technology.
So, you know, like this is a gaming soundbar and this is our first product, and it was great really because, I mean, games have so much spatial audio, so it was kind of a natural place where to take it. But I mean, we would like the technology to be, for example, in laptops, you know. Many people nowadays use laptops to consume Netflix. Netflix have 5.1, we can get spatial audio from there. We can get spatial audio out of Spotify, out of Tidal, anything that basically has like something which is stereo. We can use it and we can have an experience which is much wider than the laptop, for example.
Nice.
And then from laptops, we would like to go you know, we saw many times in home cinema soundbars, you know, because this is where something that we are at our living room. We don't have to put loudspeakers all around us, and we can enjoy very good spatial sound.
I imagine kind of scenarios where you are kind of by yourself, say you're driving a car or something, you know, you can have that set up and you can have your kind of own 3D kind of, obviously not playing games or driving, but you know, even things like music and stuff, I imagine, you know, there's a lot of room for integration there.
Very much, you know, and in cars is something where basically we are already working and to provide spatial sound in cars, and also to provide something that is a very hot topic in cars, which is independent listening zones. And that's, for example, you are driving, you're the driver here, for example, in a UK car, and you are listening to the GPS, but I'm not listening to it. Because what we are doing is sending beams of sound, and we can direct where these beams, you know. And I think in Audioscenic, the way we think is that the future of sound is spatial, you know, and either you consume it with wearables, like the AirPods that many people use, or with a system with our technology, where you have the ability to consume spatial audio without wearing anything, you know. I think this should be a very important part of the future, you know. You know, like with headsets, again, you hear things here. You don't hear things
You don't get the
there,
distance. No,
basically. You know, and that's something that you get with this technology. Yeah, I think like if you listen to the Leviathan, it will be even more immersive, because getting good spatial audio with headphones is very hard, because things can be around us, but they sound here. With the soundbar, you get much better externalization. So I really, you know, encourage people to go to their closest Razer store and give it a listen, and they will say, wow, you know, because this is like a really revolutionary
Well, it was a lot of fun. Well, if you don't mind me, Marcus, and everyone at home, I think I'm going to jump into some more God of War, because that was a lot of fun.